Welcome to the Mark Winsor and Tom Diller Show. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm having a good afternoon.
You look like you are, absolutely. We have Mr. Scott Welker over here to my left.
How's it going?
It's going good. And Mr. Mark Winsor is in traffic behind a truck with hay bales or something in Santan Valley on his way over here. We have very special guests this afternoon from NAHREP, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. They have a tremendous event coming up at the end of this month. So we have Francisco Hernandez here, who is a board member, that's going to kind of talk about the event. And in fact, what's pretty cool is KQCK will be there streaming live from the entire
Very nice.
show.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be at the
Phoenician.
You know, I had a brain fart there at the Phoenician on the 27th. And Francisco, thank you for coming. We appreciate you driving all the way out here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Why don't you move up just a little bit to the mic there? And then tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the show. And then Mark will come in just a couple seconds here when he passes that truck.
Sure. Thank you. As Tom is saying, my name is Francisco Hernandez. I'm with Venture Real Estate here in Chandler, actually. And I also am part of the board for NAHREP. And you want me to tell them a little bit about our
Yeah, you know, talk about what is NAHREP, what is it out there, what do you guys do, what's your mission statement, I guess,
Sure.
And a little bit about what a board member does over there.
Sure. Okay. So kind of to go over the mission, it's actually a long one, so I wrote it down for you guys. It's
nice.
To increase the rate of sustainable Hispanic ownership by empowering the real estate agents who serve the Hispanic community. So we accomplished this mission. You kind of asked what board members do. We have a lot of networking opportunities, education, advocacy. We teach leadership. We help real estate professionals work with the Hispanic community. And most importantly, you do not have to be Hispanic to be part of our organization.
Right. So you find. So I guess the first question is: are there a lot of Hispanic realtors out there, or are these just realtors that are after the Hispanic market, or a little bit of both? I mean, that's
great question. It's actually a little bit of both. I mean, there are a lot of Hispanic realtors throughout the country, and especially in Arizona. But our organization is very diverse. You've been to a lot of our events, and
absolutely, yeah,
it's very diverse, and that's what makes us a great organization.
Yeah, Guaranteed Title and myself are huge advocates of what you guys do over there. So we certainly appreciate your organization. So as a board member, you're part of what sets up these events. So tell us a little bit about what goes behind an event that is a national event at the Phoenician. I mean, that's got to be a huge undertaking.
Absolutely. So there's 21 board members right now. Everybody has their take. You guys met Veronica a couple weeks ago. There's the educational piece of it. There's the sponsorship piece of it. It's a giant team that comes together, and we build the events such as this. I mean, we have a dream run coming up in November. And then, of course,
I was there last year. I didn't run. I watched. I kicked back with a beer and watched the whole event. So
we'll get you to run this year. So we build opportunities like that. Our golf tournament throughout the year. I mean, and we obviously have outreach as well, where we help our community. We had a dance event last year in December. We're doing it again, where we raised $10,000 for charities.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
A lot of teamwork comes onto that board, and to build an event like this, exactly. I mean, we picked the Phoenician. You know, that's all sponsorship money. It's a great location, and you know, we like to take care of our agents in a sense. So.
Right. What's some of the things that people are going to see if they go, and you know, why should they go? What's your elevator speech? Like, this is why you need to pay, you know, the $249 or whatever that is, or free to members. So I guess you're a free member. It's free, which is awesome. And I guess you could become a member and have that taken care of and go for free at that point.
Absolutely. So to answer your first question, as far as we set a theme this year, it's winning is in this market is all about strategy. What is your next move? Last year, I mean, you're entitled, so you understand last year was a lot of REO market. This year, we're providing the tools to agents to make sure that they're able to do short sales, that they're able to work with traditional sales. I mean, there are equity sales out there now, so we're making sure we're providing those customer service tools to our agents. We're providing them how to work with commercial property, which is a new thing, and property management, I'm sure you've heard, is up and booming now. We're providing a lot of those resources to agents this year.
So a lot of breakout sessions with different topics. You know, before we go any further, let's give out the phone number because I know actually Joe's getting a call now, so we'll wait until he gets off the line here. So we do want to encourage folks to call in if you have any questions for myself, Francisco,
and I
or
did
Scott
put
Walker.
it right up there on the screen.
Oh, awesome.
So for those that are listening rather than watching, you can call us at 480-745-1033, and we will certainly do our best to answer your questions and take your comments. Misty from Phoenix, a realtor out of Phoenix, wants to know, can you explain about the Phoenician event?
Sure. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you, Misty. Appreciate that. And actually, Francisco is going to be talking about that quite a bit more. So talk about the breakout sessions. What can a realtor expect to learn? You talked about the changing market. You know, it went from REO, which is nil at this point, very little. Right. I think there's a couple of HUD properties out there, maybe a half a dozen or whatever. You know, short sales are hitting it strong. So where's that going to evolve to? And what are you guys going to be, I guess, showing the agents where they need to be at for the rest of this year and the next year?
So just to let Misty know as well, our conference is July 27th this month, and it's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I don't want to forget, we do have a mixer afterwards, which was a lot of fun.
The happy hours are always good. I can attest to that for what I remember.
So make sure you show up for that as well, Misty. It is the event is $249 before July 15th. Or free if you're a member of NAHREP, which is $99.
Kind of makes sense to become a member there.
Absolutely.
It's a no-brainer.
After July 15, it's actually $349, or once again, if you're a member, it's $99.
You'd have to be crazy not to be a member.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for an entire day worth of education. Now, you mentioned education. Now, you guys are actually a school also.
Correct. We're the only charter out of NAHREP. So NAHREP, just so you know, national, we have 20,000 members. In Arizona alone, we have 853 members.
Wow.
And we're the only charter with that is actually a real estate school as well. So one of the benefits, and I'll get back to Misty's question, one of the benefits of becoming a NAHREP member, you cover all your CE classes in a year with being part of our organization. So.
Right. Outstanding. Well, the slamming of the door is Mr. Mark Winsor, coming probably from a big legal case and trial or something, or I don't know,
some big high-profile court TV
very high
thing.
Profile. Probably was on CNN before he walked in the door. Yeah, court TV.
We're finding out I'm both old and blind.
That's right. He just got back from a. You want to talk about that? Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's scary to me.
It is. I told you my dad had that, and that was you say it before I say it. Yeah.
What? No, I didn't.
I have cataracts, I just found out.
My sister just had the surgery 2 weeks ago at Barnett and Delaney.
Is she alive?
She walked out of there the same day, like, fine.
Well, it freaks me out.
Reading novels. I'm like, what?
Nice.
Nice to meet you, by
Francisco
the way.
Mark Windsor.
Francisco, nice meeting you. Sorry to interrupt your show.
No worries.
Apologize. I would have been here on time, actually, but the moment he said cataracts, the whole exam changed, of course. They had many more things to check. And
They only lose 1 out of 3 people in cataract surgery, from what I understand.
That's good odds. That's good odds. I got better
But
life
it's a slow
insurance than health
death.
insurance.
It's, you rot away a little bit. I don't know.
Nice.
That's not a bad thing, actually. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt the show.
No worries.
We were just talking about the education portion of the event that's coming up. We already had a caller, Misty. So Misty doesn't sound like a nice Hispanic name. And repeat once more, you don't have to be.
You do not have to be Hispanic to
right.
be part of our organization. It's the first question we get asked. I wish I had those percentages, but the point is, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, you come to the events, they're very diverse.
Right.
They're huge.
And that's why I go to the events. I'm not Hispanic. I'm kind of a mutt. I'm a mixture of a lot of different things. And I find that it to be a very good group of folks where you can learn a lot of stuff from, just because of the diversity of that. It's not just one voice, one person. You see a lot of people, and you hear a lot of different viewpoints, which makes me better. I guess that's what makes the membership better.
Obviously, we're, like we were talking about, our mission is home ownership, but I always wonder why there's not more accountants, not more lawyers. It's a great place. I mean, you have 853 members. To have that kind of exposure to become a member and be able to expose your business.
Right.
I mean, it's
Mark's one of your newest members right there. We're signing him up, and we actually got a booth. KQCK will have a booth. We'll be streaming live the entire day. And they're playing with the wires over
here.
here.
This is definitely radio worth watching, is all I'm saying. If you're watching me try to untangle...
we did that right before he walked in the door. It's like, let's mess him up a little bit and type all his stuff there.
Well, you can tell my chair keeps changing from best position to now getting in the back, but that's all right.
I'm pretty excited. So you guys are going to be at the event all day?
We're going to be streaming live, and we're going to be doing interviews with some of your VIPs that are going to be there. We know that Commissioner Judy Lowe will be there. Certainly your president, Grace Senart, will be there, and we'll chat with her. And again, you mentioned we had Veronica here earlier a couple weeks ago, who's very eloquent. We'll probably chat with her. But, yeah, so we're going to be there talking to, VIPs and realtors walking by. We're going to ask them what they think about the market, what they think about NAHREP and the Arizona real estate market and how it's going, where it's going, that sort of thing. So
I think you were about to tell us what some of the breakout sessions will include. I'm sure there's people who are curious about kind of specifically what they'll be learning, who they'll be learning from.
So I think our biggest session that we have most people asking about is our property management. A lot of investors out there right now, everybody's renting. Rental market is great right now in Arizona, so a lot of agents are trying to service that market and get into property management. So we're going to have a session along those lines. Short sales, we're also going to have Judy Lowe, like you were mentioning, talk about some of the do's and don'ts in the market. We also have our national president that's going to be here from NAHREP to present a couple. But it's all I mean, winning, kind of like Charlie Sheen says, winning, that is our motto, and getting agents back into that habit where we don't wait for business to come to us anymore. Mm-hmm. It's about us going out there and growing not just the Hispanic community, but all the communities within Arizona. So it's going to be great. I mean, in July 27th. So
all day long on the 27th.
Of course, the Hispanic community is now huge.
It is
in Arizona.
We had somebody, a guest, several months ago that talked about that market's going to flip where that's no longer the minority market, which sounds kind of funny, but that's going to be the predominant market.
Yeah, it's getting to that point, really, if you think about it. The number of those, at least of Hispanic descent, so maybe not those whose language is their first generation here with language that's primarily Spanish, but certainly of those who are 1, 2, 3 generations here, but lots of those. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like it's maybe 60-70% of
I don't know the percentage. I just know it's growing.
It's got to be high. Yeah, absolutely. So breakout sessions. So this is something where they can pick and choose all day long and go to one or another, and then just boom, 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 and
same kind of setup as last year. We had we'd have 45-minute sessions, somewhere longer than that, but you get a schedule when you sign in, and then you get to pick throughout the day which ones of those would benefit your business most, and it goes 8 to 5. There's some amazing. One of the key things I do not want to forget is our luncheon. Our luncheon is an additional $75. That luncheon, what I like about it, all our speakers, all the VIPs, everybody, they go to this luncheon, and people that buy the ticket will have the opportunity to sit at the same tables as them. We're not going to sit them all together. We're going to separate them throughout the room.
Do I have my own table?
I heard you're one of our VIPs.
Cool. I like that.
So it is $75, and then we have our keynote speaker for that, and I do want to get her name, and I do want to get her name perfectly fine. 1 second. It's keynote speaker Gonzalo Castillo Kickbush. She's Lieutenant Colonel of the U.S. Army, retired.
Wow.
So I didn't want to mess that
Her last name is Kickbush?
Kickbush it is, yes.
And what if...
You don't want to make fun of somebody like that, of course, but with a name like that and just
oh my gosh.
out of the military, but that's an interesting name.
And what if you're a member? Is that still the $75?
Still the $75. But also, I mean, for the techies out there, we will, if you do buy a ticket for that, we are going to be having a drawing for the iPad 3, I believe.
Wow.
So don't correct me if it's iPad 2 or 3. I'll get the I'll get the facts, but we will be doing that as well. But I think the most important thing is that opportunity to network with some presidents of companies and so on at your own table, so you make the most of it. So
I can imagine that since there's going to be a lot of realtors there, businesses that are around just the real estate world, like certainly investors, but people who do maybe printing for realtors, business cards, all those kinds of things, probably a good place for them to go to network too. So are you inviting them to go to this thing too?
Absolutely.
So you don't have to have a real estate license or anything to show up and spend money.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, I mean, if I personally was an accountant, or if I had a printing or radio show, anything that I feel I could benefit realtors or they could benefit from my services, I would be there. I mean, imagine being able to network. Last year we had 800 people there, a little over 800 people. We're trying to exceed that this year. hopefully we hit the 1,000 mark. But imagine how many opportunities that provides for any business person.
Right.
And remember, if you join NAHREP, is that how you say it?
NAHREP.
For $99, you can get in instead of $249 or $349 to that event.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Right.
And I think one of the biggest things for membership, just so you know, is the events we do throughout the year. We're starting to work with Brian Buffini, which I'm sure you've heard.
Oh, absolutely.
But Brian Buffini is one of the best trainers out there as far as real estate goes, and we're merging that with NAHREP, and we're providing those services. We're providing the CE classes. We're providing those events like the gala and so on throughout the year. So
I tell you, the gala was a blast. I remember that it was full of dancing and Patron. That's all I remember. It was just lots of dancing. They had flamingo dancers. Well, not really flamingo dancers, but there were board members and prestigious realtors in the area training with a dancing company.
So they got 6 training lessons, I believe, 6 to 12. It just depended on who they were.
How bad they were.
That's a better way to put it. So and they took full advantage of those lessons, and as you saw, I mean, no, they did not have any training. I mean, with the exception of Gray, of course.
Right.
They didn't have any.
Gray does everything. She's just like a little Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman,
Just love her to death. She's just a cool little gal.
So that was a great event. I mean, I believe Trevor Brown ended up getting a check for around $4,000 for their track team. So we do a lot of community outreach, and I do not know who. I believe she might be dancing for the same people, same group again, and we'll see how it goes from there. So
excellent.
I want to hear about the Dream Run. What was that?
Sure. The Dream Run. We had our first 5K last year.
Okay.
And we didn't have that many runners, right?
No, it was a pretty crowded day. It was pretty cool. It started very early in the morning, and they had actually professional timing equipment and all sorts of cool stuff. And
did you get a number? The whole
yeah,
the whole
it was very well done.
It was very well done. Tina Tambor put that together with the team, and she's in the running world, so she knew exactly how to put that event together. And she got a lot of runners to help her out, and luckily, I mean, like you're saying, we had a good turnout this year. Once again, our goal is to hit 1,000, 1,500 people. But
this year Tom's going to run.
This year Tom's going to
run.
You know
what? I don't think I could even bicycle that far, so it's not going to happen. I'll certainly support like I do, and Guarantee Title Agency supports NAHREP big time. So we try to go to all their events. We have a lot of our staff there at the event. We'll have several employees at the conference on the 27th for you, working the booth, that sort of thing. And you'll have a few people with you. Are you going to bring Toronto, that part of the company, over there too?
I should.
I think you should.
They are the Hispanic side. I know you don't have to be Hispanic to go, but if you're Hispanic, you ought to go.
I think so. A little more, we talked about the breakout sessions and the keynote speaker. Throughout the day, is there an area where people can work? I know that a lot of times people being out of the office that long, and that's it may sound like a weird question, but can people go there and not lose any business also? I mean, you got to think about both sides of that. So
absolutely. So last year we had Wi-Fi set up through the hotel. I mean,
really? That's good.
Yeah, so
that's one of my
great?
That's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, me too.
You go to an event and the hotel has Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they lock you out of it.
But you're locked out.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's included in the free price.
So we're not going to get me in trouble this time, but I know
it's all free. No, you said it's all free. It's all free.
I do believe that sponsors, the organizations that have booths, they all get free, and then obviously we'll make sure that we take care of the radio station as well. But,
all right.
Yeah. But last year there was plenty of Wi-Fi, but most people that went, honestly, they had the assistants at the office working, and they were really into the conference. It was the first of its kind, and people loved it, so they participated.
But I go to conferences and I really do get involved in that. But when they stand up and say, don't email, don't text, turn off your device, I just look at them like they're from some other planet.
Right.
I can be on a panel giving the panel discussion, and I occasionally have to glance down at my phone because I have so much going on. There's no way you can be the senior partner of a law firm and have everything, the radio show and everything I've got going on, and not be connected at times. So it's good to know that there is Wi-Fi for my little Wi-Fi device.
I'm going to make a little section for you. Does that work? I'll make a Wi-Fi section for you.
But technology is getting so incredible. I now have a hotspot, so I'm actually solved for me.
Right, that's what I do.
Yeah, so I've got a hotspot that can follow me anywhere I go. Right. It's just the memories of So I just know a lot of people showing up will be like me, but maybe not have a hotspot yet.
Hey, can't you do 5 devices?
Yeah.
I'm thinking $99 a device per day.
There you go. Wear a T-shirt that says "I'm wired."
There's an extra $396 for going.
I'm a hot spot. Come see me now. That's a good point.
I'm ordering the hotspot outfit today.
Yeah, because all these little hotspots will take up to 5 devices at the same time. So on technology, not to get too far off, but one of the other pet peeves I have is that Verizon at times, which is who I have, will have these little pockets where you just can't get good reception. And my house happened to be one, and my Phoenix office happened to be one. So the two main places where I would hang out were just dead spots with Verizon where I'd drop calls. So I found a little box that I bought.
Kind of like an accelerometer or something like that?
It's incredible. It's just a little teeny
flux
box.
capacitor.
Yeah, it boosted up. I now get all 5 bars, and it's incredible.
You wasted your money. I wear my tinfoil hat, and I take a metal hanger and connect it to the phone, and it.
But that's okay in Santan Valley to wear a tinfoil hat.
True.
I mean, people expect that out here. They're going to run me out of town.
There is incredible technology out there. So back to and if I was to choose a name of an organization, you'd probably ought to consider what it sounds like when you just say the letters together, right?
Absolutely.
So I still can't say yours correctly.
It's NAHREP.
NAHREP.
Yep.
So something like orange or something next time would probably be a good idea. But tell the listeners other events and other things that you do as an organization to help the industry.
Sure, absolutely. You guys had Veronica Buragan here a couple weeks ago, and she handles our education. That's the biggest piece. We educate the realtors to go out there in the market. So for a realtor, the education piece, we have monthly classes. They all switch out. We want to make sure that we cover an agent's 24 CE credits that they have to take.
CE meaning continuing education.
Perfect.
For them.
Yep. And so they have to take those every 2 years. So we want to make sure that we're covering a class every, whether it be fair housing, law, whatever it be, we're covering those classes in there. So education is the biggest piece of our organization.
So do real estate agents promote their membership with you? In other words, do they hang out on their shingles and on their websites and stuff and say, we're members of NAHREP, therefore we're better prepared as a realtor to represent you? Is that something they do?
Absolutely. So now we have 20,000 members nationwide. One of the big things in the previous years was NAHREP. A lot of these banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, they wanted people that were working out there in the community. You know, it didn't have to be NAHREP, but there's other organizations out there. And they wanted to make sure that there was that you're a part of an organization that understood the community. So you see it on emails all the time, on business cards. You see the bottom NAHREP, and it does mean a lot. I mean, having 20,000 members nationwide and growing, they definitely hang it on wherever they can, I guess.
Okay. So do you have any other events coming up besides this one that we're involved in that we're excited about?
Absolutely. So we have our Dream Run coming up, and then we have our gala in December. That gala is our big charity one where it raises about $10,000 for charities throughout the valley. And then, I mean, we have our golf event next year, and we have other social events that we're putting on here shortly. So
excellent. Looks like we had a caller, Joe.
Sure.
And it's a pretty good question, actually. Brett out of Tucson, he's a locksmith. He said, can I join NAHREP, right? No. Can I join NAHREP if I'm not a realtor to get the good price on the event?
Absolutely.
So you don't have to be a realtor to join.
That's like an associate or like my title company. We're not realtors, but we're certainly members.
But this guy's a locksmith. That's cool.
That's a great person that come to an event like this.
Yeah,
that would be great.
I didn't think of that, but sure. I mean, locksmiths and realtors go hand in hand. I didn't even think of that.
I had a realtor that did not leave the lock. Unfortunately, didn't leave the keys in the lock the other day when we closed on a property, and my guys, they didn't get out of work until 8, so I said, sure, I'll meet you over there. I thought it was great customer service, but no key in there, and we were trying to find any locksmith, and locksmiths charge you premiums on Friday, Saturday nights.
Oh, bet they
do. You need that NAHREP locksmith to be
absolutely
right there.
And like we're saying, I mean, I'll keep repeating. I mean, you think it's a real estate thing, but we have title companies, we have loan officers, we have attorneys,
air conditioning guys.
They need to join.
Landscapers,
inspectors,
pool guys. Now, is there a chapter in Tucson, or did anybody from Tucson have to come up here for your classes and stuff?
As of right now, Tucson and Maricopa County are merged. I mean, all of Arizona is merged right now.
So one chapter now.
Right. But it appears Tucson is actually growing very rapidly. They have great leadership down there, and they're growing rapidly. So I don't know too much right now, but it might become its own chapter.
Yeah, I've seen folks from Tucson come up to the meetings. Now, there's always that one couple that comes up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, there's at least a half a dozen folks that come up from Tucson.
Philly and Eric.
That's right. That's right.
Now, here's what's interesting, too. Our caller was from Tucson, and what's interesting is that I was listening to another radio station this morning that we won't say which one, but they were kind of ripping on internet stations a little bit. Yeah. Because they're AM, so they have to think they're better, right? And so they're sitting there kind of.
But are they international? Do they have?
That's the key.
Mark and Tom.
An AM radio
That's right.
is going to reach their little teeny wherever their little broadcasting strength goes, right? Their little signal out across one valley.
We've had callers from New York, Wisconsin, Chicago calling on some of our shows. Canada, yeah, exactly. That's right. The one folks who count Hawaii. Absolutely.
I had a car stereo installed this morning. For 6 years, my disc player hasn't worked, and don't ask me why I waited that long. But $140. I'm like, because I was at my mechanic, and he was having some window tinting done. The guy says, "Hey, I put stereos in, top of the line, really nice Pioneer, $140 installed." And it has internet.
Wow.
Internet.
Great, yes.
Yeah, so you can get internet radios.
I can plug my station right in and listen to it.
Oh, that's
sweet.
Cool.
But of course,
I didn't expect that. I didn't even know.
No, but those listeners who have a smartphone, of course, can just click on your website not as they're driving, at a stoplight. No, before they start driving, or hand it to your passenger. In any event, you hit that listen now while you drive. And you can listen in your car just from your smartphone.
But all the vehicles now have the little 1/8-inch port that you just take out of your phone, plug it in, and you can listen to any internet radio station right through.
Did you know that?
The little auxiliary.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, that's.
I was not aware of that.
Better get right on it.
I better get on it.
Radio.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's take it's about a half hour now, 5:29. Let's get ready for some of our sponsors. I just want to remind our listeners that we don't just arbitrarily pick sponsors. We have sponsors that we need you to support because they're supporting us. So listen to our sponsors and come back right after this break. Appreciate you coming.
Are you ready to start taking control of your future and maximize your earning potential? Central Arizona College has smaller class sizes and personalized attention to help you compete in today's tough job market. CAC now serves Santan Valley and Queen Creek. The CAC Santan Center is located in the shops at Copper Basin on Hunt Highway, behind Barrow's Pizza. Stop in and see how taking classes at CAC costs a fraction of a state university, and your credits can transfer. So, if you want to earn real money, you need to learn real skills at Central Arizona College. Enroll in classes today by calling 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu or call 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu. Central Arizona College, your way. Are you having plumbing or septic problems? No worries. Call Cartwright's Queen Creek Plumbing and Septic Service. Been in the Valley since 1996. Family owned and operated. Proudly serving East Valley and surrounding areas. With a full range of services from drain cleaning, septic tank pumping, general maintenance and repairs, inspections for the sale of your home. They provide excellent and courteous service for all your plumbing and septic needs. We're not satisfied till you are satisfied. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Call today. Cartwright's Queen Creek Plumbing and Septic Service. Contact Denise at 480-987-8051. That's 480-987-8051. Why is it so hot in this room, yet cold in other rooms? There's got to be a solution.
You need to call the company For Your Comfort, servicing residential and commercial AC, heating, refrigeration, and low temp. For Your Comfort LLC is the company that makes you comfortable. We provide same-day and emergency service. Everything from system checkups, repairs, installation, and air quality. We also take care of manufacturer warranty, repairs, commercial ice machines, walk-ins, and much more. We can assess your air quality and find solutions to make your home or business more efficient and comfortable. That's our goal. Licensed, insured, bonded, and NATE certified. For Your Comfort LLC is ready for your call. 480-882-2048.
Because of the company For Your Comfort, my home is now cool and comfortable. Thank you so much. You were fast and friendly.
What did I tell you? For Your Comfort, the solution to your AC issues. 480-882-2048.
Anybody find me somebody true?
Welcome back to
that. Was a great song, but
that is a great song.
Had to get rid of it there.
So we're sitting here messing around with Facebook, trying to get these likes to work.
That's really a big challenge here. It's not seeming to work right.
All right. Well, welcome back with our guest from NAHREP, National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. I at least got that part down.
You did.
NAHREP. That's pretty close, eh?
That works
Francisco
for us,
Hernandez. All righty. So we were talking about various things that your organization provides to realtors to help them better provide services, and then education to others as well. Do you have educational opportunities for the end user, the homeowner that wants to buy or sell homes?
That's a great question. That's actually what we're working on right now with our school. Our school just came into place a couple months ago, so we are working on putting some educational pieces together to help homeowners obtain special financing. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there like Queen Creek, a lot of these you would consider almost outskirts to Maricopa County. There's a lot of funds, public funds available, and so we're trying to make sure that we also reach out to the community through our agents, and not only that, directly to the end user. So a great question. Absolutely.
As you put those classes together, are you contemplating digital format, making it available on the internet, or podcasting, or webinars, or any of those types of things?
That's actually a great recommendation. I don't know if they were, but now I'll definitely mention it at our board meeting.
It's worth coming to our show. You see that? The stuff you
I was going to say you need to have an attorney talking about what happens if they're upside down or that kind of thing.
Yeah, we do a lot of classes.
Absolutely.
No doubt. In fact, have I not done them for NAHREP?
You know what? You did some for ARAB, which is the Arizona Association of Real Estate.
See, guys, I'm just telling you, when you think of your name, you got to come.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't sound right, but it's the Arizona Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is one of the oldest associations.
All right, I've done them for that.
Yeah,
you did. So many classes I can't always
He's
remember.
actually CE certified, so he does a lot of great classes. So.
Yeah, I've done them and I've been on a lot of panels. That last one was good.
You know what? That was just phenomenal. I still get people asking me about that. I still get people messaging me on Facebook, but we had a panel in Glendale with the commissioner, Judy Lowell, yourself, Mary Frances Coleman, and Jim Eckley, and Mark Valentine. We just kind of talked about the market, talked about short sales. We had 250 realtors that were there at the Thunderbird School of Management, and it was a tremendous event.
So is the short sale market ever going to turn around? One must wonder.
I don't know. What do you think?
There's
a realtor in the room here.
I believe so. I see him staying here for. I mean, I could foresee a good 3 years, 5 years. Not as heavy as it is now, but I definitely see another, at least to close out the rest of the year.
Is that based on the number of homes that are upside down? Because I've seen more and more reports that there's less people that are delinquent, yet there's still a tremendous amount of folks that are upside down on their properties, and these are the folks that are either barely hanging in there. Right. I think it's the right thing to do, not sell, or contemplating that they should probably do a strategic default. So to me, that seems like that's just still a tremendous market that's going to be out there for at least a year plus.
Oh yeah, I mean we could have a whole show on that. I think it's a great topic. A lot of people come to us with questions. Hey, what should I do? And obviously, we refer them to an attorney or an accountant based on that because we can't recommend. But I do see we have the anti-deficiency law coming up in December. I don't know if they're going to extend it, and
that's really not going to affect a whole lot of people though when it comes down to anti-deficiency.
It is not. So let's make sure
we're talking
clear.
about yes, that's right.
We mix apples and oranges so much.
Mortgage debt relief act.
Yeah, that's right.
Relief act.
So the anti-deficiency laws have no changes planned.
No changes.
It's the tax law.
That's right.
Tax law, so.
And only one of the tax laws is subject to change.
Which I've seen advertisement out there trying to scare folks that they need to hurry up and finish a short sale, which is just not true.
Right.
Correct?
That is not true in many cases.
A lot of cases. So certainly you can't just paint a broad brush over everybody's situation. So I didn't mean to say everybody's situation. So yeah, certainly there are situations where that's not going to matter at all.
That is correct. I see a lot. Had another client today who, bless her heart, she does not want to do bankruptcy.
Right.
Fighting against that tooth and nail. Had a business, and I won't give so many details. Anybody can figure out who she is, and I get enough of these, so we can almost just generically say people. But she's in my office today. When the word bankruptcy comes up, tears come and wants to avoid it as much as she can, but she's got a first and then a second that she took out later, and then with the business that failed, she's got 3 judgment liens and trying to short sell. Now, is it possible to get that short sell through? First of all, they're trying to get it through the HARP program, and which means the second has to agree to forgive the deficiency.
And the judgments, right?
And the judgments also have to all come to the table. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know that answer, whether the judgments have to agree to it to participate in that program.
Now, if she let it foreclose, would they come after her when she buys another property? Would they just follow her, lien, follow her?
That is a great question, and it's not just when she buys another property. So, yes, the liens hang out. Hang out, but they will also pursue her. Interestingly enough, on judgment liens, she has other judgments that aren't showing up as liens. A little tip for creditors.
Get a lien.
Get a lien.
Yeah.
And that is as simple as recording it with the county recorder's office.
Right. And sometimes it will sit dormant for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, but the second that person goes to buy a property, they're calling you up trying to negotiate to get that thing paid off, right?
Well, the dormant that's partially correct. It can sit dormant for 5 years.
5 years.
You have to
Gotcha.
Yeah, you have a short window. Scott, do you remember if it's 60 or 90 days? I don't do those very often. I just did one a few months ago, but I'm not remembering. Before the fifth year is up, you've got a short window of 60 days, I think, maybe 90. If there's an attorney listening to us that does that all the time, either blog it in or call us in. But you've got to re-register it during that time, or
pay your $60 and get another 5 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Re-register it. But interestingly, on these cases, in her case, she could do the short sale, but she really ought to do a bankruptcy at the same time. But that's hard. That's emotionally tough. In fact, the short sale would be substantially easier if she did the bankruptcy, because right now you got lenders thinking they can play hardball, thinking they can go after her. But if she filed bankruptcy, there's no hardball in that one. They know that the only thing they're going to get. And interestingly enough, the second was offered $8,500, which is a little bit more than usual.
Yeah.
I see a lot of 3,000s and 4,000s, but it's not that often I see an $8,500 offer from the first to the second. So it's a pretty generous offer,
right? Actually.
And yet the second has, at least at this point, the second has rejected that. Is why she's in my office.
Credit union?
No, it's a PNC. Is that one?
Yeah.
PNC more.
It's PNC.
Oh, right.
It's PNC. So you think they would know better. But we'll see if my letter...
Otherwise, they get in with zero. I mean, it's either zero or $8,500, right?
Yeah, they in their minds believe they can go after the deficiency, but the moment they're sitting in an attorney's office looking at all options, including bankruptcy, and sometimes realtors as well as homeowners are afraid of that word. And I understand that many of us, including me, believe that one should do all they can to avoid bankruptcy. But there comes a time, I lost a huge business not many years ago, and I had to go through bankruptcy. It was not fun. I hated it. I went 2.5 years trying to avoid it, paid over $100,000 in settlements, did everything I could, but there comes a time.
The law provides that exit, so
there comes
take
a
it.
Time,
that's how I see it. Yeah, take it.
Well,
absolutely.
There comes a time when somebody has no choice, and bless her dear little heart, there may come that time.
Absolutely.
When she has no choice. So what are the other issues as a realtor that you're seeing out there that are day-to-day common issues that our listeners would be interested in?
Well, luckily, a lot of those we are going to be covering at our conference here. And
well, let's give them a sneak preview.
Short sales, obviously, like we're speaking about.
Is that really one of, I'm finding too, on when I teach classes, that the short sale classes the attendance is declining. We're getting fewer. I don't know if it's because people feel they're educated now or what the deal is, but it seems like interest in learning about short sales has waned a little bit.
I agree. I mean, I think, and that's kind of why we're bringing it to light again. I think a lot of them have the misconception of last year, hey, they're so difficult, B of A is not going to work with us. A lot of these banks aren't going to work with us, but now it's actually, they're being pushed from every corner to work with the consumer. So there's a lot of options out there for anybody that wants to do short sale foreclosure.
How about, are you getting much interest or many requests for information on alternative financing or alternative purchases such as owner carrybacks, lease options, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, and I believe, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but I strongly believe that one of them is going to be financing one of our corporate sponsors here. The lending company is I believe is going to be providing some sort of class or
on alternative financing options.
Alternative financing, international financing, which is another session, international business. We're trying to provide as much as we can to the agents so they could pick one if you want.
You have Chase and Wells Fargo. I mean, NIP Contracting. I mean, this is a nice group of folks that are sponsoring you guys. So
those are the corporate ones. So yeah. we obviously still have availability if people want to sponsor a booth or so on, but we have about, I think, 19 different sponsors signed up.
Nice.
Right now.
And Winnie Nip just sent me something on Facebook, so shout out to Winnie Nip with Nip Contracting out there.
How about some, I'd imagine you guys are probably going to be talking about how different the market is right now than it was even 6 months ago. Sure. And I'm sure for realtors are probably going to be interested in knowing, how do I survive in this market now that, inventory's so much lower, and it's got to be a totally different approach if you really want to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, there is that scare of low inventory. I mean, we still have, 10,000 or more homes available, but that's very low inventory. I mean, if you're a buyer, there has to be ways to get your buyer to communicate with other agents. I mean, a lot of people just have that mentality of give up, and we got to bring the spirit back up and provide those tools so they tackle that. But you're absolutely right. I mean, there are going to be a lot of sessions where they get to learn, and not only that, I encourage people that are there to actually go speak to people like you're mentioning NIP Contracting. So you talk about alternative financing. They do a lot of FHA 203K financing, which a lot of agents, once again, I would say, I don't want to call it, I guess you can tackle and say it's an education thing. A lot of agents do not know that, hey, we just because this house is in despair doesn't mean that you can't purchase it. Why not do a 203K loan and fix it up exactly how you'd like? So I encourage people to go speak to our lenders, go speak to all our sponsors that are going to be there and see what we can put together. So
I think a lot of buyers are frustrated because in the houses under $250,000, they're getting so many backup offers and going so fast, yet hard to close, right, on the first offer, hard to get the appraisal in for the amount that is needed. I think buyers are getting a little frustrated. Don't you feel that?
Absolutely. It's funny. Every market obviously is different, but I was on a radio show last week with CBS out in Maryland talking every market. They talked about Boston, Miami. They spoke to us here in Arizona, and our market. I mean, I've seen 52 offers on a property lately. I would say on average 20 offers. You hear about it all the time. And
so how does a young person that wants to buy a house even have any hope of getting a house they want?
Good question.
Great question, actually. So
see all these good questions I'm coming up with? Are you glad I came and didn't just go cry at home for having cataracts?
I could tell you, send them to us, and we'll get them closed. I mean, but
it's hard, isn't it? I mean,
it is. It's hard for
even
us.
Finding the house is hard. So how do you approach it? Somebody's in your office, they're first-time home buyers, and they're wanting to buy a starter home. What do you do?
It's a very proactive approach. I mean, it takes you'll have to remind them it's grunt work. I mean, they might not get the first house. It's very rare that they land the first house that they write an offer on, unfortunately. But you got to just keep that mentality in them. Let's just keep writing offers, and let's see which one lands. And the proactive approach, I mean, I'll tell you what I do, some other teams do. We go out and get the listings. If somebody tells us, hey, we want listings in this area, we'll go out, door knock the homes and so on. It's taking grunt work to get the homes, but it's happening. So But encourage them to keep writing, and there's great programs out there, like you were mentioning, loan programs. I mean, I don't even know what interest rates are today, but I know they're below 4%.
They're under 4 still for most loans. I mean, we've heard about loan programs now where someone can get a loan immediately after a short sale, even if they've been delinquent, and those interest rates are higher, up to 6, I think, in that range. But still, compared to what interest rates were when I was a young man in real estate. And we were dealing with 10% interest rate we thought was good back then.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, late 80s. We thought that was good when I was in real estate. And actually, I think it was 1990, wasn't it 90 or 91 when I was in... I think that's when it came down to 10%, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember when we had a home in 85. We had a 9.5% interest rate, and we thought that was good.
Yeah. So times have changed now. We're spoiled with 4% and under, but a good interest rate is really anything under 8, really, in reality.
Yeah.
In reality, especially if you take the tax consequences, the advantages you get with tax-wise on it.
It's a great time to buy. I mean, people ask us when's the best time.
It's a great time to buy if you're patient and willing to work your tush off to find. I mean, that brings up to a point that it gets increasingly difficult for a real estate agent to make a living in a market, right? I mean, because first you're trying to figure out how to do short sales and get those through, and the moment we figure those out, then all of a sudden you're trying to figure out how to get an offer that sticks on a house, right?
And that's exactly why. I mean, even if it wasn't, I would love everybody to come to our conference, but even if it wasn't ours, go to Brian Buffini, go to Mike Ferry, start getting as much training as possible. It's all about education. I mean, you know, you don't hear every day an agent go into door knock, and it's stuff like that.
We used to in the good old days. We called it farming.
Exactly. So
we'd call it farming.
So you can't wait for the business to come to you, and that's kind of what we're teaching a lot, is take that proactive approach and go get it, you know, rather than wait for it. And unfortunately, that's what the business was the past few years, is REO business. It all came. There was always availability.
Now, with all the backup offers that come immediately on a property, do you still have your homeowners put money into fixing it up and getting it all show ready and those types of things? Or do you just say, man, we're going to get offers anyway, vacuum the floor and do your dishes, and let's list this puppy?
I'll give you a lawyer's answer. It depends. I mean, you could almost see, hey, this is what it would be worth if we put $10,000 into it, or let's leave it. And if you leave it, most likely you will. I mean, I don't want to tell everybody they're going to get offers, but the reality of it is you price it at market, you're going to get offers.
Now, how about houses in the $250,000 to $500,000 range?
They're still selling.
They're still selling as well.
So. Looks like we had another caller.
Yeah, we have an interesting one here. Marissa and Mark from Peoria have gone 17 months without making a payment. They are worried and concerned about going to the bank and asking about refining or getting a loan because they think that maybe things got lost. Do you think that's possible, or should they not say anything and just wait, or should they go and try to get this taken care of now?
Well,
that's almost
that's an honesty. Right? That's an honesty question.
Well,
isn't it?
yeah. No, first of all, we need to understand that if they're saying bank, meaning their bank, the bank that they're delinquent on,
right.
we must remember that banks are departmentalized. So the department that is customer service that has your loan in the beginning, they can't help you. They don't know squat. They have one job and one job only: make you pay that arrearage and get caught up. If your loan, and if you haven't paid for that long, it's probably left customer service area, and it's probably in one of their loss mitigation departments. And if it's in loss mitigation, it depends on which department. If it's on a department that is focused on short sales, then that's what they're focused on.
Right.
That's what they understand. That's what they're geared up for. And so when you make your phone calls, the first challenge is getting the right human being.
Should they call you and have you take? I mean, do you take care of those kind of things?
We do, but we're pretty expensive for that kind of legwork.
Call a realtor.
Call a realtor. So your first, even if a realtor, see, I know realtors, including probably Francisco, who they'll help you even if they don't get a commission. You know, they'll help you understand if maybe the best step is to try first for a loan modification or something like that. They'll at least point you in the right direction because they're building goodwill. They want that commission down the road and that kind of stuff. But because just sitting on the phone with the bank, it depends on which human being you get to what advice you get. You get somebody who's geared up for short sales, they're going to tell you to short sell. You get somebody who's geared up for the loan mods, they're going to try to get you loan mod, even if you don't qualify for a loan mod. They won't tell you that on the phone.
Spin your wheels. You know, good point. I don't think we've given out your contact information,
Sure.
and not just your contact information, but NAHREP. Is there
Sure.
someplace they can go take a peek at this.
So NAHREP, we'll do that first. It's www.NAHREP, N like Nancy, AHREP like Paul. That's www.nahrep-az.com. And then that's where you could go, you'll see the links for the conference and so on. And then my name is Francisco Hernandez, Venture Real Estate. Phone number is 602-535-9658. That's 602-535-9658. And then just to kind of capitalize on that answer as well, it's one of the things that she mentioned, she's kind of scared to call the banks and so on. A lot of people are scared and they run away from their home. And it's very unfortunate because there are programs out there like HAFA that you've heard of that will provide the homeowner $3,000 to complete a short sale.
Well, this woman said she liked her home. She's afraid to call because she thinks maybe she'll never, ever again get a payment or anything. That's the concern.
She thinks that they're going to flag her and start going after her foreclosure
well,
and so on.
She has professionals she can go to. Typically, the attorney is not the very first stop unless you also have other issues around it. Our consultations are $150 for Scott, $250 for me.
Perfect.
But they come to us if they've got multiple issues. Otherwise, their first stop is either a real estate agent or a HUD counselor, a certified HUD counselor. Yes. There's some great certified HUD counselors out there.
And those are free, right?
Those are free.
Yeah,
so
free resources.
Both the real estate agent consult would be free. The certified HUD counselor is free,
confidential, so they're not going to call the bank behind your back.
And if it's a good
set
one,
off some red flags.
That's right. And if it's a good real estate agent and a good, because everybody has various.
And that was the point.
Right.
That was the whole point.
Now, do you work Peoria? Should they give you a call afterwards?
I live in Central Phoenix. I've lived here my whole life, and I definitely work Peoria. And just so you know, a good agent's always going to recommend.
That's right.
An accountant or an attorney, to be honest with you, because we don't want the liability, and they're going to tell you which one's best.
That's right. But clearly, if you're starting with a real estate issue, the first stop is either a real estate agent or a certified HUD counselor, because they'll at least let you know about your loan. So when you come to the attorney, you've got that information.
Now,
already.
they don't want to sell, so they should they still call the realtor to get started, or should
Again,
in this case be a HUD counselor?
See, they don't want to sell, but they haven't made a payment for a long time. So
they may have to.
The point is they don't know their options yet.
Sure. So it's about the options.
It's about the options. It's
that
about
makes sense.
It's about figuring out what do I do. I don't want to lose my home, but I haven't made a payment. Because if they stick their head in the sand, they're like Joe's ostrich, and they stick their head in the sand, they'll be like that ostrich that's dead.
They'll leave. They'll get the house taken away with and end up with zero.
But
and they'll find out when the door's being knocked on and they're saying you got 2 weeks to move.
Right.
Could that happen? I mean, if they just see, because they're thinking maybe the bank has shredded their documents, and they disappeared. That's not going to happen.
Behind. No.
Eventually, it catches up.
It will catch up.
It's better.
And it could be
know.
just a notice on the door.
I've had
be
clients
proactive.
who've moved out way too soon. Right. They didn't know their options. They get their very first what they think is a notice, and they pack their bags and they move out, and they miss out on the ability to be a dairyman for a little bit and milk the system.
Absolutely.
Which is
17 months worth of payments they can save. Even if they're making less money, they could save half that every single month.
And I have others who call me because they get a knock on the door from somebody who just bought their home saying you got to get out in a couple of weeks. And they're panicking saying, how are we going to find a place in 2 to 3 weeks? And I tell them, well, you should have come. I mean, I'm not this rude, but hello, where were you 6 months ago when you should have come and seen me then? Right. No, I don't say it that way, but I can understand the hesitation to pay me $250 to sit with me for an hour. I understand that. But quite frankly, I do not understand the hesitation to get with a professional for a free consult to figure out what's going on.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. It's happened to a lot of people out there. Just get out there and don't bury your head in the sand like somebody just said a second ago. Get out there and find out what your options are.
Yeah.
It's completely confidential. Nobody else is going to know. Your neighbors don't have to know. Your bank doesn't have to know.
Especially if you're wanting to stay in the house like they are. I mean, eventually you're going to have to pay something.
It's not going to go up on Facebook under losers page. We promise.
No. And now if you've got other issues on top of that, you lost a business, so you've got some other litigation possibilities or credit cards. In order to save yourself, you ran up credit cards. If you've got other issues, then it's worth $250 to sit down with an attorney and see, because we know all your all of your options. If you're with an attorney like Scott or me that have done this quite a bit, we'll know whether you need to look at loan mod, look at short sale, look at bailing and just not worrying about it, looking at bankruptcy, and there's different kinds of bankruptcies, restructuring, keeping. By the way, there are those who have first and seconds who don't understand that in a Chapter 13 they can keep their house and get rid of the second mortgage. They don't even know that is an option.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
That is
yeah.
Cool.
In our upside down market, many times a house.
Now we owe him $250.
There you go, and we can divide that by 3, and we're in good shape.
But we learned some good values.
But
exactly.
There you go. You're
I'm
mocking.
serious. No, I'm not.
Don't mock the guy with cataracts.
Don't
now.
mock
Don't
the
mock.
poor
Now I
guy
feel
that
really
had
bad.
to get
I'm going to get you a
surgery.
gift
Cripple.
now.
Jeez.
I got to get him a gift now.
You do have to buy him a gift basket.
No, I'm nervous about that, you guys. Seriously.
You're going to be okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can see the illness now.
I'm looking forward to seeing those big glasses on you.
You know, it's very interesting
Leave him alone.
that I've been in karate tournaments that have gotten pretty brutal, and that doesn't intimidate.
Didn't you take a samurai through the eye once?
No.
Oh.
But I did get hit so hard in one tournament that it knocked my contact. I have soft contact lenses. Got hit so hard in the eye it knocked one out. And that probably, the doctor said, may have been the thing that started causing the cataracts to form. But in any event, so I think I'm not a sissy guy, but needles scare me. I mean, I have to go to my happy place when I give blood or get a shot. I have to go to my happy place.
I passed out at pediatricians.
Oh, yeah. It scares me, man.
No, I hear you.
And so the thought of somebody sticking knives and stuff on my eye freaks me out.
Wow.
Try LASIK surgery.
we-
They open
we've
up your
only-
eyeball and cut you.
We've only got a couple more minutes, but let's do this. First person now to call in, we'll give away dinner to the. I've got one more dinner set.
Rockin' J Ranch?
To Rockin' R Ranch.
Rockin' R.
Rockin' R Ranch.
Rockin' Q.
Rockin' R Ranch is a wonderful family restaurant that is not just a restaurant experience. It is a Western, not movie, but drama type experience. You know, you go out there, you can pan for gold, you can watch a medicine show. They got a little village there. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place in Mesa. Baseline in about, Greenfield, something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Greenfield's right.
Something like that.
Greenfield.
Rockin' R Ranch. Tickets for 2. You got it. First one to call in before the end of the show. Ready?
Minute
Go.
and a half.
Hurry up.
What's that phone number again, Joe?
480-745-1033.
All right. So let's see if the phones will ring quickly on a Rockin' R. Usually that blasts the phones up where we get tons
All
of
right.
calls.
NAHREP, July 27th. Their national conference at the Phoenician, which is on Camelback, of course. Beautiful venue. Free if you're a member. $249 before July 15th or $349 after. Of course, after you can still pay $99 to be a member.
You can.
So become a member. People from Tucson are invited. People from Payson are invited.
And if you are a member, do you get discounts to the other events?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have a lot of free events, and we have very low-cost events also.
A lot of your
for our
education's free too, right?
Absolutely. Yep. A lot of our title companies, title partners, like Tom,
Like Guarantee Title Agency.
they put on a lot of events for us, and they all benefit the agent. So
Yeah.
$99.
We're proud to be a part of NAHREP, actually. So I'm a member myself, so I'm extremely proud. And we actually, one more time, KQCK will be live at this event the entire day. We'll be interviewing VIPs. We'll be interviewing some of the realtors that are walking by, some of the lenders that are walking by. So looking forward to that. Giveaways, all sorts of. What are we giving away?
Scott.
We're giving away Scott. Now, why is he billed
getting paid for
cheaper?
it.
I mean, is he short because he's shorter or what? I mean, why is he?
I'm his founding partner.
Just
What
because,
about
just
pictures of Mark
because.
framed?
We should give away pictures of Mark Frame signed, glossy, 6x10.
And
6
you
by
too,
20.
Tom.
Of course, me. Come on.
No,
man.
we can't do them both at the same time because his will outdo me and I'll feel bad. We've already learned that lesson.
Where's my fan base? They usually call in from Payson and
Yeah,
Flagstaff.
where's that? Where are they?
Where's
Right.
my gals from
Well,
Payson?
we're out of time. Thank you for joining us. This is definitely radio worth watching. What do we got planned for next week, Tom? Do you already know off the top of your head?
You know what? I don't know, but we do have something great
Hopefully
planned.
Mary Frances and Commissioner Lowe. That's possible, do you think?
You know what? We are rescheduling them. They both had scheduling conflicts. They wanted to be here tonight. Again, that's Commissioner Lowe wanted to be here, but she will be here probably in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, well, we'll do our best
Yeah.
to get them. If not, I can promise you we always have interesting shows. Join us again next week, 5 o'clock. God bless you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
listening. See you next time.
Wow. Edible arrangements, beautiful, delicious, and delivered right to your door. You won't believe your eyes when you feast upon these beautiful edible gifts.
Located in Queen Creek on Combs and Ganzel in the Fry's Shopping Center, Edible Arrangements is the leading purveyor of delicious, high-quality, artistically designed fresh fruit arrangements that are a practical and healthy gift, perfect for every occasion. They feature a wide variety of delicious items to choose from, including mouth-watering chocolate-dipped strawberries, juicy pineapple, and melon arrangements, just to name a few. Contact Edible Arrangements at 480-655-6464. That's 480-655-6464.
Remember, perfect for any occasion. Edible Arrangements.